Look what I got. And no, I didn't grow these, but I do have some to add to them that I grew. We're gonna can them up. First, I'm gonna wash them, and I usually just put my sink with some cool water and a little bit of vinegar and put my vegetables in there and let them soak for about 10 to 15 minutes. I got a sink full of beans, soaking in some vinegar water. The purple ones are ones I grew. Green ones I just bought today. But we are out of green beans, and this is the perfect time to can some up. All right, so I got my green beans all snapped and prepared. So we're raw packing these, which basically means I'm putting the raw green beans into the jars, and you pack them down as well as you can. To an inch headspace. And then I use a teaspoon of salt to each jar. And then I fill it up with water and I debubble, and then I equalize my water. I've got 12, 17, 18 jars, so that's good. That's probably going to fit in my canner. All right, so I'm going to add a teaspoon of salt to each jar. And this is just canning salt. You can use canning salt, you can use pink Himalayan salt, plain table salt, as long as it is not iodized. Alright, so I'm just going to add some water. It will not be in very neat, but that's okay. To about an inch headspace. Actually, I'm going over a little bit, but it's okay because once I debubble, the beans will shift and also the air comes up. And to debubble, you can use a debubbling tool. I even have a handle off of an old rubber spatula that I lost the rubber spatula part. I use either one, so you can use anything you have as long as it's not metal. And what you're doing is you're releasing the bubbles out from the bottom, the air pockets, as best as you can. It makes more room for the beans or whatever you're canning. You'll just usually go around it. Headspace, I may have to take just a little bit of water out of one or two of them. And I normally just use a spoon for that. We're going to wipe every one of these rims off. You want to make sure there's no cracks or chips. or any dust, any kind of debris. And then we'll just put the flats on them. So flats, large ones, wide mouth, whatever. You don't have to boil these flats anymore, but I do take them out of the box and put them in some of the same water that I use to disinfect my jars. And then you put the rings on finger tight. We got 18 pints. I'm pulling out my old trusty Presto 23 quart. There is a little indention. There it is. For the amount of water you put in there, it's about a half a gallon. That's not right. You do it enough. You do it enough, you figure it out. I'm gonna put the small jars in first, or the regular mouth jars in first. I'm gonna fit 10 of those on one level. And I have 10 in there. This in there and put the rest of it in here. Pray they all fit. Because I can't remember how many of the wide mouth jars fit. Alright, we got them in there. Okay, so we got 2 more regular mouth and 6 wide mouth. So we got them all in there, nice and neat. See? Put this on, and I greased my seal. This is a removable seal, and I try to oil it about every 3rd or 4th batch that I can. And you place it on and lock it into place. Turn it on high and let her rip. Okay, we've got a steady stream of steam and our release spout has come up. So I'm going to set the timer for 10 minutes. And we're gonna let it vent for 10 minutes. All right, time is up on the vent. So now we're going to put our weight on and wait for the digital dial to come up to pressure, and then we will start timing again. All right, we are almost up to pressure. We'll let it get up to 11, so it's going to go just above the 10 to that dark mark. And then we're going to start timing for 20 minutes. So it maintains that pressure. Now, I have trouble regulating mine. The sweet spot is somewhere just below my 4, and where the 3 would be, like somewhere in between that 3 and 4 mark. So I still have trouble regulating that, but we'll wait for it to come up to pressure and then we'll turn it down. Sometimes it goes a little bit above the pressure. I don't really worry too much about it if it goes above, but if it does go below the 10 mark, you have to start your processing time all over. So I'll wait until it's right on. See if I can get it where it's not casting a shadow. There we are. Now we're up there. So I'm going to turn this down. Turn it down to just below 4. And it usually will maintain somewhere between 11 and 13. Like I said, as long as it's somewhere, as long as it's above 10, I'm pretty good with that. All right, you can see, let my pressure get a little bit on the high side, but that's okay. Time is up and we are turning it off. We will leave this alone, let it come down to 0 pressure all by itself, and when it comes down to 0 pressure, we'll take our weight off and take the lid off. All right, it's time to take the jars out. We're down to 0. We're removing this. Gonna unlock it. Now I'm just going to tilt it, the lid off a bit, and let it cool a little bit. And then we'll be back and remove the jars in just a bit. All right, we're gonna take the lid off. When you are grabbing the jar, make sure you come down to the glass and come up. You wanna lift it underneath the lip there on the glass, not the lid. And it's a wrap, guys. Remember, keep calm and keep canning.